Hello, my name's Stephanie Bray and I'm completing the video component of my Cluster 3 Property Management Success assignment. Basically in this video I'm going to discuss the case study, which is me applying to and going to VCAT for a possession order on behalf of the landlord. In summary, I have a tenant who did not pay their rent. I then served the tenant with a 14 days notice to vacate based on the instruction of the landlord. In those 14 days, the tenant did not return the keys and has not contacted the office, has been ignoring phone calls, that sort of thing. So after driving past the property, it was clear the tenant is still residing there after the 14 days, and I've been asked to apply for a possession order hearing at VCAT on behalf of the landlord. So the way that I would do that is I would obviously print off an application form through the VCAT website, or if I had one handy at the office. This is to be filled out on behalf of the landlord. I fill in details such as the address and what I'm trying to claim through VCAT. And this would be mailed by registered post, and I would keep the registered post receipt to prove that it was sent. And it is sent to the Victorian Civil and Administrative Tribunal. I've attached the form based on the case study to my assignment. So then I would obviously wait to be contacted with a day and time for my case. Once I'm actually at VCAT, I would have to adhere to the policies and procedures of VCAT. So the first thing I do is ensure that my case is structured and that it is foolproof, and that there's no lies, and that everything is exactly as it is. So that in doing that, I would have a summary of proofs form filled out, and I'd bring that along to the hearing. I'd also bring supportive documentation, such as a copy of the lease agreement that Jake signed originally, signed showing his understanding of what would happen if he wasn't to pay his rent and all that sort of thing, and obviously to prove that he was the tenant. I would also bring the tenant ledger, which shows rental payments and shows that obviously he was not paying his rent on time or enough rent. And I'd also print an arrears report through Console, which also indicates this. I'd bring all copies of any registered post I send, including the VCAT application form, the 14 days notice to vacate, all that sort of thing. So I'd have the letter and I'd have the registered post stapled to that. I would also, in my file, have any other communication, so any emails, letters that were exchanged, any notes I took during phone calls if I was to speak to him. Once I actually enter the hearing, the room, I would enter professionally and quietly, ensuring that my phone is switched off, that I'm not talking and I'm not disrupting the member or any other individuals who are in there, as there can be cases still being heard as I've been called in to obviously go in and wait for my turn. When it is my turn, I would address the tribunal as member, sir or madam. I would ensure that I have eye contact and I'm talking professionally, using obviously terms that the member is familiar with. And I wouldn't mumble. I'd ensure that everything I'm saying is clear and just direct, short and simple sort of thing. I would adhere to the rules and procedures of the tribunal, and as that would be seen in applying the law to my case. So, for example, during my summary, I would outline that I'm seeking a possession order due to blah blah blah, whatever the reasons are. I would also outline my case clearly. So an example of my case summary is as follows. Jake Moore, residing at 25 Nepean Highway, Frankston, has been in rent arrears since the 19th of July. He was therefore served with a 14 days notice to vacate and was meant to vacate by the 20th of August, as you can see from the letter, and the member would have this. The point of law in question is the possession of the property. The remedy being sought is a warrant for possession. Evidence I have with me today includes the tenant ledger, copies of registered posts, notes on any communication, the lease agreement, and Console reports. Obviously, in the lead up to my case, I would ensure that I contacted any professionals that could assist me. whether that be other property managers, whether it be my director at my estate agency, whether it be the VCAT website, or whether it be VCAT itself. All my relevant documentation is attached to my assignment, which will be submitted with this. So hopefully I've answered all the questions. Actually, I've just remembered. One thing I would also do is I would read the affirmation before I state my case. And for example, that would be, I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So obviously another thing I would adhere to during my case is telling the truth. So, and I would obviously have evidence for everything I was stating within my summary of proofs. Thanks.